And our next guest is a young guy who has worked with Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh and Mike Macdonald. And there's a lot of people to glean information from. His name is Jesse Minter, and he turned the Chargers defense around in about 40 minutes. He is the new coach of the Baltimore Ravens. And first of all, congratulations. That's a pretty good gig. I've said this before, Jesse. I think the Ravens, there's an argument. It is the best-run organization in the NFL, so you got yourself one heck of a job. If I said to you, Jesse, I'd never seen a Jim Harbaugh team, and I said, Jesse, I've heard about this guy. What is the one guiding principle that you take from Jim Harbaugh and go, man, Jim Harbaugh does this exceptionally well?
Yeah, I think Jim empowers the players really well to create an identity of team football. And so, he kind of allows the players to be themselves, but there's this understanding that we're all after the same thing. We all have the same goals. And so we're willing to kind of put some things aside sometimes and play as a team and do things like that. I think that's definitely the one identity that I'll certainly try to take from Jim.
Okay, John Harbaugh, they're similar, but they're also in some ways dissimilar. Is there something from John Harbaugh that was different than that you appreciated?
I think John, when I first got here, maybe different because I was in a different role, but he really empowered a lot of the coaching staff and even younger guys on the staff like I was when I first got here. And so there was just an ability to grow, an ability to be forward thinking, an ability to be creative amongst the staff. And I really look forward to kind of being that type of head coach where you're always trying to find better ways to do things. You're always looking for the next great thing and research and studying and doing things like that. So learned a lot about John of just empowering the staff to always really be trying to find that next great idea.
So it's interesting, as a defensive guy, I've said for years, listen, if I have a choice, I want my coach to be young and preferably offense. But I've also acknowledged that DeMeco Ryans is great. I heard that in San Francisco when he was quality control guy. They're like, this guy is going to be a stud. We heard it about you. We heard it about Mike Macdonald. How do you, as a defensive guy, come into the operation in an offensive league where the rules all favor the offense? How do you build the toughness on that defense and the culture, knowing that it's now mostly, it feels like a little bit of an offensive league?
Yeah, I would just say, look at the two teams still playing right now and sort of how they operate. When you look at how Seattle's built and how they're playing, when you look at New England and how they're playing, I think it's teams that play great defense. It's how you train. It's how you the processes that you create to be really good, and the standards that you create. I feel like we kind of did that defensively in LA the last couple of years.
Yeah,
and so it's about creating beliefs and goals, what you're trying to achieve, and then most importantly, creating standards of how you operate that match those goals of what you're trying to achieve. And I still think defense wins championships. I do agree with you that at times it feels like an offensive league, but I think when you have great players on offense like we have, and now you can match that with hopefully the best defense in the NFL, I think we can do some special things.
You turn the Chargers around immediately. So Lamar Jackson is an all-time talent. When you have a guy like a Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, Drake May, where you're like, okay, these guys can do a lot. They can go scripted, they can go off platform, they can go off script. What is the balance with Lamar to let Lamar be Lamar, but play within a structure you're comfortable with?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think you want the structured plays to work really well and to be really an offense that he feels great about and that he feels like he's thriving in, and that you're making plays comfortable for him, stuff that he's really good at. And then I think those unstructured plays, that's where he's the best in the world. That's where his instincts are able to take over. He's able to make throws, runs, everything, every which way. But I really think it's the structure plays that we need to really make sure are tight and really make sure there's things that he's familiar with and really good at and willing to grow with. And I know he's super excited about where we're headed on offense. And I look forward to seeing him thrive in our offense.
Whether you play a team or not during a season, you see a lot of teams on film, like the Seahawks and the Patriots. So when you look at our Super Bowl, all the film you've looked at this year, whether you play a team or you see them playing somebody else, you see film of 32. You see film of everybody. Are you shocked the Seahawks and the Patriots got here? If not, why?
I'm not shocked. Seattle, you know, Mike's a dear friend of mine. I kind of know his mentality and how he's built that team. Took over a lot of really good young defensive players that are now, you know, growing up and in their second year. And so they have great talent on that side of the ball. They made a you know, organizational decision with Sam Darnold that's paid off for them and the type of offense that they're running. So not surprised at all. And then same thing with New England. Tons of respect for Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels. Getting him back as the offensive coordinator, I think, was a huge development for Drake as a young player. We played them in the first round. And so no surprise that those two teams are playing. I think it'll be a heck of a matchup for the fans to watch.
All right, head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. It's a big boy job. This is to me, a blue blood gold standard. San Francisco 49ers, Eagles, Ravens. This excellence. I mean, John Harbaugh was a great coach, and they moved on. It is a. How do you set that culture day one? How do you come in? By the way, because the last guy was good. You know, this thing's not bottomed out. You have a roster that could win a Super Bowl next year. How does Jesse Minter set the culture tomorrow?
I think there's a couple things. One, like knowing that there's a really good foundation, and especially myself having been here, knowing sort of how that was built is a major positive. And then I have, you know, my own style and in my own way. I think we need to become a really connected team. I think we need to play football in a style that people are proud of and excited of on all three phases of the game. And so I think we're going to create an identity of a really well-connected team that's tough and physical, but also that's very innovative. We want to be really forward-thinking schematically in all three phases. And I think there's going to be a lot of excitement when the guys come back and really feel like we're headed in the right direction.
Jesse, good luck to you. Everybody I know speaks very highly of you. It's a gold standard organization, and good luck going forward.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.